Welcome to Tech Dive Gaming. I am Steven, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make a city, person per person, step by step. I'm going to try and explain every little bit, every little thing I can as I do it. All the reasons why. If I miss something, please comment below, tell me what I'm missing, what I need to keep up on, what you want to learn. I will do my best to tell you. Anyways, let's start. This map right here is Two Rivers, so just a vanilla map. I'm trying to approach this from the perspective of somebody that has no mods, no expansion packs, just a very base vanilla experience. Let's get started. Alright, here we are. So, the first thing I do is click this little X because it's annoying. Anyways, really what you need to do is zoom out, take stock of your town, right? So, things to notice are the location of your highway. This is your connection to the world. This one has a large flat area, some trees on the edge. Trees can be used for forestry, and these patches are agriculture. So you could do a little bit of farming if you wanted to down the road. However, don't worry about it too much. More things to note, if you can zoom out some more, is the overall layout of the region. You can see there's a big highway going pretty much all the way around. We have a train track over here to the right. Another thing to take note of is the flow of the water going through your city. This is on a river, and the river is flowing from right to left, very slow. Even at the fastest speed, it's hard to tell it's even moving at all, unless you look at the very edge of it. Which, it's okay. The faster the current, the better it is for whisking away your polluted poop water. Let's move on. So the first thing you want to do is go down here to the road tool. It's called roads. And it's always blacked out selections because the game kind of locks them away from you, which, no big deal. Click the 2-lane road right here. And my first suggestion is to always just connect these two up. So you click on either side, doesn't matter, then drag it to the other side. You don't drag, you click once, and then you click on the other side, just like that. And then you have your first road. This will let you build 2-lane one-way roads, which I like to use for my first main roads. However, I think I'm just going to do a basic 2-lane road. It's going to be a small town, right? And you can drag it out as far as you want. Keep in mind, this costs money. Everything that you're doing costs money. Right now, because of that roto belts, we're losing $2 a week. Not very much. However, that will add up very quickly, and you will find yourself in debt very fast. So, just drag out your road. I don't know. I go by these lines, right? So this is like these grid lines right here. 4 of them is pretty good, right? It's a good enough run of road. And so, the first things you want to note are, well, what does my city need? And so the way to look for that is right here. This is what your city wants to build. Residential. So you're going to find a spot for your residential. Residential is housing. Residential zoning is basically just where people live, and that's it. So I want people to live on the right side of the road, right? Build this out. Doesn't matter. You can build it out to this or this. It just doesn't matter that much. I would recommend a very small grid, maybe 4 by 3, right? So like 3 wide and 4 long, and that will give you a pretty good size neighborhood. So you go to this tile, zoning, and then you click on the green, which matches up with this green, which stands for residential. And this is low density. You will get higher density. Density is just how many people live. Basically, single family homes versus multi-story apartment buildings, etc. I like to pick the marquee tool to start off with. This is basically, you just click and drag. And I clicked here because this is the furthest to right downmost tile that I want to start zoning, and just click and I hold it down and I drag it all the way over, and that gives us a nice clean line. You'll see that you have 4 tiles deep. Oh, we already have development. That's wonderful. They're 4 tiles deep, and so that will give me enough room on this side to click the commercial tab, come over here and zone some commercial in just the same fashion. Oh look, so we have people moving in, and they're saying, wait, we need water and power. So you look at the bar below, you will see the electricity panel, and your options are a wind turbine or a coal power plant. Things to note, the wind turbine only costs $6,080 a week. Not too bad. The coal, however, costs $19,000, which is a third of our money, and 560 a week. However, it produces 40 megawatts. The windmill only produces 0 to 8. So keep in mind for how you want to scale your city if you're going to be growing fast. It may be best to build a coal power plant. However, we're going to play it modest. We'll do wind turbines. So keep in mind that with wind turbines, since you will have less capacity, you will need to keep adding more. Your city is going to run out very quick. Alright, so when you click the wind turbine, they are special in that they require wind to work. Coal power plants can be built anywhere. It doesn't matter, they'll make pollution and stuff, but you can plop them anywhere, they'll make the same amount of electricity as long as they have access to coal coming in from the highway. So, with the windmills, I would say, I guess it's a wind map in terms of you can see how much wind the different parts of the land get. The darker the blue, the more wind. If it's white, you get roughly 3 megawatts. Here in the deep blue, 7. And in this darkest blue along the coast, we get 8. So we are already going to be building pumps over here. So we'll just stick it right here. On the coastline, they don't really affect the terrain too much. You will see the headphones and orange circle around it. The orange circle stands for the area around it that makes noise. People live within this. They get sick in this game. Basically, they don't like it. It's bad. So keep these away from people. You can put them near workplaces and commercial districts and stuff like that. They don't care too much, but residential will hate it. So you have placed your windmill. You'll see this blue blob around it. The blue blob indicates areas that are receiving electricity. However, our city is way over here. So let's build our first power line. All right, we have to connect these two. Come over here, grab your power line tool, come over and click within the blue area. It doesn't matter too much. And just come over to your residential area and click again. And thus you have created your first power line. And once the windmill starts spinning, it'll generate plenty of power to give these houses some electricity. Now you say, well, we also need water. So this comes into effect where you need water. And so, all right, so for water, you come down, click the water sewage heating button here. It should say water and sewage for you if you do not have the cold expansion pack. And you will want a pump. Pumps cost $2,500 to build, $240 a week, and pump 120,000 cubic meters. It's a lot, pretty much. However, you could build a water tower if you do not have a clean source of water or your water is way too far away or something. It costs more to build. It costs the same amount every week. However, it only pumps half the capacity. So, while you can build these will be very expensive to scale up. So I'm going to go ahead and build a pumping station because I think that we will need it. And so you come over to your water. You cannot build a pumping station. You can't build a pumping station on land, but it's not going to do anything because there's no water. They don't worry about aquifers in this game. So come over to your water source and try to find a good spot for it. I'm going to stick it right here. You can see how it kind of locks on to the coastline. Basically anywhere it's green, you can see it going into the water, you're good. I'm going to drop it right here at the very upper end. Also take note, you can see the arrows. The arrows indicate flow. This is to help you determine, oh hey, I'm building downstream of a sewage plant. I probably shouldn't do that. Or, oh look, clean water is coming in, we're good. Click, and we're done. So now we need to do a water pipe. So you come over here, click water pipe tool, just like the power line, except this one locks on. You can see this node. You'll click the node. Now you are attached to it. So you come over here, and I like to line these up along the roads, so I'll just do a straight shot. You do not have to build these along the roads. You can build them however the heck you want. If you want to do the optimal layout for pipes, so I built this pipe out this way. If I build this pipe to the cost of 440, just like this, and then build over again, this will have the least overlap between the pipes, thus being literally the most efficient you can be with your water pipes in this game. I don't care that much. Once you have a city of like 20,000 people, you're not going to notice the cost difference between a little bit of inefficiency versus doing the perfect 440 split. It's just a waste of time. So, water pipes are in. We have wind power. Great. We should be good, right? Let's go ahead and accelerate time. Everybody is happy. All right, there we go. So the windmill is powering the pump. Oh, and instantly. See this? Sewage. Sewage is under the water taps. Come down here, click this, and go over to your water drain pipe, which basically just dumps the sewage into the river. You could build it right here next to the pump if you want to, but there's a good chance it'll seep into that pipe and it'll suck up polluted water, killing everybody. So maybe come down halfway and drop it. It will require power, so keep that in mind. That is an extra cost that you have to build the power line to come down there. So just drag a power line over there from your windmill. You'll give it power, and you will see your poop kingdom happen. And maybe? Not enough poop yet. It'll get there. Alright, next you'll say that, oh look, I'm doing pretty good. I'm making a little bit of money. And that's right, you got 225 people, yeah, you're making a little bit of money every week. You're not broke yet. That's a pretty good start. So I'm building my industry road. I just click the road tool once again. Come over, try to build away from residential. It will drag your residential down, make them sick. And go ahead and zone a pretty large area. It'll even itself out once you do. Keep in mind this will require water and power. So come down here, build your water, and there's a gap between our power. Power does not transmit along roads. It requires power lines or actively connected areas, which would be like buildings. And there we go. We now have a little industry area, a little commercial area, and a little residential area. This is pretty optimal in terms of the commercial is a buffer between the industry and the residential, which gives it space to like kind of absorb the pollution and not cause health problems in our population. And look, we are making money. And that's pretty simple. We're at 248. Let me scale up a little bit more. Alright, so let's start scaling up our city and maybe laying out some roads that are not perfectly straight lines. Oh look, we're out of power. So if you click your power tab, you'll see how much electricity is being used. You're consuming 10 megawatts and you're only producing 8, which really just means that the people furthest away from the power plants are not getting power. Oh, we just reached 420. Anyways, exit out of that. And so that means we need another power plant. However, this time I think we are good enough to sustain a coal power plant. Go ahead and drop this in as far away from residential as possible. Just in the corner is really the best option. Or maybe over by your sewage dumping thing. Oh look, there it is. You'll see some brown water coming out of it. And this will only get worse and worse as time goes on. The more you make and the more people you have, it's just going to be dumping out crazy amounts of sewage. It's really disgusting. So once your town upgrades, like mine has, to above 420 people, you will see some new things lit up. You have healthcare and education. Education is important, however, it is not important right now, because pretty much all we have now is factory workers and people working at convenience stores. There's no need for education in right now. Just no. Don't even waste your time or your money. Healthcare kind of is important, so I'll go ahead and build a clinic. These cost $400 a week and $10,000 to build. However, this will be plenty to serve our small town. Keep in mind that we did get a little bit of a money bonus from reaching this mile marker of city building, and the best place to build this is probably, I won't put it on the very edge corner because that's gonna, you can see how the effect of it kind of drains off the further away you have to drive. Maybe put it towards the center of your residential commercial area. I know I'm going to be expanding this way, so I'm just going to build it right here on top of this house. There we go. It's built. It's lit up. We are good. We have 1 citizen, and they will be taken care of promptly. Wonderful. It's raining right now. See? Happy little clinic. Anyways. So our city is humming along. We actually have a power plant, clinic, and we are not going broke. We actually have plenty of money in the bank. It's pretty great. Let's continue our growth by adding more commercial zones. I believe commercial zones on each side of this road is fine. Yeah. For commercial zones, I recommend putting them on the main roads, mainly just because it's not that they benefit from being on a main road, they just don't care so much about traffic noise and pollution as residential does. It is it's not as sensitive as residential, but it's also not as immune as industry. So keep that in mind. It's good for main roads, busy areas, congested areas. It's not good for empty areas out in the middle of nowhere because they like to have customers. So keep that in mind. All right, so now our zones are getting pretty full. We actually have almost no space left in our residential or our commercial area, so it's time to expand. And while we could continue to make our perfect grid as far as the eye can see, grids are really boring. So I'm going to put some curves and some freestyle expression into my city by clicking this tool right here, the curved road tool. This builds one segment at a time, but it gives you very precise control over the angles and the direction of your roads. So click your road, click this tool, and now you're able to build your road. You will start by clicking where you want the start of the road to be. You have your second click be the trajectory of your road. So if you started off pointing like this, you're gonna have a road that will start facing that way. See? And if you click straight, it's gonna give you a road that's straight unless you want to curve it. So I would recommend going about 1 unit. 1 unit curves are pretty symmetrical, easy to like make it look nice and clean. I don't recommend having like it be your first click be two blocks away and then your second click be far away, because that gives you a really ugly curve. Nobody likes that, right? So maybe just go 1 full unit away and then click and then come down whatever you think 45 degrees is. It doesn't matter too much. Another 1 away. See how it starts, these blue bars to show up? I come about 1 away. That will give you a symmetrical curve, which will look the best. I promise you, try not to build any other curves than symmetrical curves in this game. You will find yourself frustrated at how ugly these curves can get, especially when you add roads and stuff to them. So click again, and we have built our first curve. Now with this tool, we can keep on building. It'll automatically roll into the next segment, and so I'm going to go and do a straightaway. When you are building out more neighborhoods and expanding your city, I recommend kind of using existing roads as a guide. So I'm going to actually pull this road out like this, using the straight tool to ensure that it's perfectly straight. I'll come over here with my straight tool once again and create a 90-degree road that's actually a 45-degree angle in there. And from here, I'm actually going to build out some more roads. All right, come down here, put out a new neighborhood. Not looking too shabby. If you want to maintain this angle, just come over here. Boopity boppity boop. See, one thing you have to watch out for is that if you let it snap, it's not going to let it be parallel. You have to pull it back like this and then make it connect. Another thing you could do is come in close, and you'll see right here that this dotted line shows up, and that means that you are on the center line of this road right here. So if you click that and then come in, you will still maintain your 45-degree angle just fine. Other things to note would be that you don't have to build your buildings all 4 tiles deep. You can actually have them be 3 tiles deep by spacing your roads 6 tiles apart, etc., etc. Coming down to the residential tool, go ahead and fill all that in. I will note that you want to either, I will note that you do not always want to have 4 tiles deep, right? Because that would only give 2 tiles for the commercial, so I'm going to leave it 3, just like this. So the commercial and the main road can be 3 tiles deep. And 3 tiles is almost exactly as dense as the rest, so it doesn't matter too much. Just come in, fill in the rest. You can also use the flood tool, which just kind of fills in whatever the tiles are connected to it, or the brush tool, large or small. Just click and hold. Very simple. Just click play. Remember, pipes, pipes, pipes. Always build pipes. Crap. Alright. While I'm okay with inefficiencies, I'm not okay with off angles like that, and that's just ugly. There we go. So we are doing quite well, and I think this is the end of the tutorial. So I've gotten you to 500 people. I've got your city started. It's very profitable. It's growing. There are no issues currently with it. It is a happy, healthy little city. I hope you enjoyed this first episode in this hopefully a very long series of how to do city skylines from the very basics all the way up to as big of a dang metropolis as I can build. So, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time.